Breaking news from WWL Louisiana.
Good afternoon, I'm Cherise Gibson, and we are interrupting your regular programming to bring you an NOPD briefing to discuss plans for tomorrow's parades. Now, both Zulu and Rex will roll early with shortened routes, and there's a live news conference happening right now. NOPD Chief Ann Kirkpatrick speaking now, giving us an update. Let's listen in.
And there have been considerable discussions today with the mayor, myself, and the crews that are planning to run tomorrow. And I have made the decision after consultation with my boss, my mayor, and others, I am going to try to run the parades in the morning. Now, y'all, we have a window of opportunity right now, according to the national weather forecast, that can change at any time. So I'm going to tell you the conditions and the changes, but Carnival is a very important cultural event for our city. And so if I can accommodate and do it safely, I am going to try. So here are the conditions. So first of all, there will be 2 parades tomorrow, Zulu and Rex. The trucker parade, which was also scheduled, I have canceled because we can't get them through during the window we have regarding weather. We have accommodated them though, and we do plan to run the trucker parade Sunday morning. And we will give you more detailed facts, but right now, the truckers will be able to parade on Sunday. So let's go back and talk about tomorrow. Zulu will start to roll at 6:30 a.m. So if you want to have your coffee and your egg biscuit on the parade route, come on out, because they're going to start to roll. They will start in their traditional spot. However, their route, along with Rex, will be shortened. So we're going to try to get them by Callier Hall, do their toast, and then at Poydras, the plan is that they will disband there. We think we can get them through by 9:30, 10 in the morning. Rex will be following, obviously, traditionally, as they always have done. They will start in their same location, but they will also disband earlier. They're not going to get to Gallier, and this was all agreed upon by our captains. And so they will actually bow out at Loyola. Is that correct?
Jackson.
Okay, Jackson, excuse me. That's where they will turn off on Jackson. So that's the plan. But I have some caveats, and these caveats are very, very important. If the national weather forecast turns from a watch for severe wind to a warning, I will cancel the parades at that point, no matter what time that is, okay? So right now, it is a forecast watch, but it's within the parameters that we think we can safely run. I hold that trump card in which I will not hesitate to cancel. I won't do it slightly or lightly, I should say, but I will do it, okay? And that's one caveat. Let me give you a couple others that are going to be important for our community and our visitors. We do know that high winds would be coming in from noon on. We have to buckle down our infrastructure. And guess what one of the most important infrastructures is? Your porta potties. So pee before you come to the parade, because we're not going to have access for you. We do not have time to secure things like porta potties after noon. That must be done tonight. Now, community, you've been fabulous. You've done what I've asked you to do, and you are a great partner to us. But I have some other things that you must do your part. You see these tents? I will not have those up tomorrow. You put them up, I'm going to have them taken down, and the officers are going to be instructed to do so. Please do not bring an umbrella. Y'all, in wind, those are like flying darts that could cause harm. You do your part, folks. Portable chairs, anything like that. You are responsible for anchoring things like that down if these winds kick up or there's a gust. Work with me. You've been great, but I am instructing officers to be strict about that enforcement. No umbrellas, no tents, anything that could be a fly in the wind and cause physical harm, okay? And we could have a fabulous Mardi Gras parade tomorrow, but please do that. Now let me double check, make sure I've said everything I want. Okay, I think I hit everything. So parade's at 6:30 again, first roll. I have instructed the people who work the parade route, particularly Lieutenant Mishu. He is the absolute conductor of the parades, that at 11:30, parading is over. So community visitors, we're gonna have a great time. 11:30, you're out of here, all right? So that's the best that I can do to try to accommodate everyone, but I won't hesitate. If Ann Kirkpatrick wakes up in the morning, if Chief Ann wakes up and the winds are higher than what I had expected, I will not have a parade, all right? And I know that's a heavy burden and that makes people mad. I'm accustomed to people being mad. That's okay. I will do what I need to do to make sure we're safe. Any questions for us right now?
All right, we're going to start over here. Lee?
Superintendent Kirkpatrick, obviously you all are dealing with a lot of safety, not only with the weather, but also added safety along the French Quarter and Bourbon Street. Can you just talk to me about how the department is approaching all those different safety protocols and how they're working with their other law enforcement partners?
Well, I think you've seen the impacts of our decisions, our planning. NOPD carries the burden. It's our city, so it's New Orleans Police that carries the main load. But we couldn't do it without our partners, and we thank our partners. But you've seen the impacts, and you've seen now a fantastic Sugar Bowl, a fantastic Super Bowl, Taylor Swift, and now you have seen what, almost a completed 2 weeks of Mardi Gras. We have shown that we can do this, but I will make your safety number one to me, okay? Good question. Hi, Jesse.
Thanks for doing this. So I know neighboring Jefferson Parish has called off all of its parades for tomorrow. Can you speak to what kind of extra stress that might potentially put on your team in terms of that many more people? Is that something you've accounted for? Or
Yes.
do you have to bring in further resources?
Great question, and yes, it is. It's one we realize because when Jefferson Parish, and I understand every community, every city's got to make their decisions, but we're New Orleans, and we're a little bit different in that this is what we're known for worldwide. And so we realize now people who may have gone to parades in our surrounding community are going to come here. And it does impact our traffic, it impacts all of that. So for all of you listening to us, plan for that and plan to get in your cars to exit. We will probably have a bit of a traffic jam nightmare. You plan for that, you know that. So work with us and be patient, but you're going to be in a traffic jam.
And did you have to up the resources further, or do you have?
We have the resources thanks to our still being a Seer 1 through tomorrow. So we'll have those resources, okay?
Chief, we're going to circle back.
Yeah. Hey,
How are
Cassie.
you doing?
Good.
Are there any concerns with the barriers? I know some of the barriers are lighter than others. Is there any plan with those?
Yeah, so that's why we're starting to anchor down today. Even like the wire barriers or the metal barriers here, if there's any concern about them, if we lay them flat, then they would be, and we are prepared to do things like that to mitigate. But yes, we're going to be taking down some other barriers on other parade routes that we don't need right now. Okay, good question as well.
Hello. You spoke earlier about how it was a very collaborative approach to make this decision. Where is the mayor? Why is she not here right now?
Oh, Mardi Gras is going on down at the river, which is a big event. So a lot of our mayors down there, it's a big event in itself. So that's why she's there. But she's been definitely a part of all the conversations, and it has been collaborative. Everybody's voices I wanted to hear everybody's voices, and the mayor's done that as well. Why should we not? What are the risk levels we all take for ourselves, okay? So all of those things have been factored in.
And why was it important for you to make sure that even with the changes it still went on as opposed to JP, we saw them completely canceled?
I didn't catch everything, and I apologize. Hold on, Melissa.
Why was it important for you to make sure, even with changes, that we still roll tomorrow?
It is, okay, and I understand that. So we are a city of carnival. We're known worldwide for that. You don't just cancel that easily. Always, public safety always will be number one. But based on the information I was given, there was a window that we thought with major adjustments, we could make it work within that window. That window may change on us, and that's why I've made it very clear with everybody. I will cancel, okay? But right now we think we can do it in that window.
Rick? I just want to clarify first. We heard that that Zulu was originally going to be running at 7. It's 6:30.
Yes, we've met, and I confirmed that now, okay? So it is a 6:30. Zulu has been super as well as Rex, and they are going to start at 6:30 so we can try to get everybody through in this window.
And what time is Rex coming?
Rex is going to roll.
They're going to try to get out for 9:30, but they may not roll until 10. But they shorten their routing stream.
Yeah, everybody's shortened their route. And that was kind of the part of it. If you work in partnership, truly, you listen to people, you ask them, is there a way we could do this in a way that maybe I haven't thought through? Everybody gave a little bit, including me. It would have been easier for this chief to just say, no parading tomorrow. Do you know that's a lot easier leadership approach to this? Is to say no parading. I have chosen to try to be as reasonable within safety as I could be.
And is it true that there's no marching bands as well?
There might be some. The issue is more about the timing versus what elements or no elements that we're trying to work through that, but it's more about getting people through in that time period, okay?
Chris?
Superintendent Kirkpatrick, the National Weather Service has already issued a high wind warning from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Bruce Katz from our station has also reiterated that there is a wind warning in effect right now. How come that decision is not being made to cancel?
Well, I haven't heard that it was a warning. I heard it was a watch. So you brought new news to me. That you're in the news business, and you have brought new news. We will have to have a conversation.
So are you ready to move forward?
Not in front of you right at this moment. I have some conversations that have to be made because a warning was not what we had at the time we had a watch. So thank you. I'll find out about that.
And also, what are you going to do to make sure that these parades keep moving? And we know some crews are slower than others.
So, and with this information, and y'all, you have to realize I did not have that information. There is a difference between a watch and a warning. So I'm going to have a conversation. But to keep it moving, if anyone slows us down, and our team here are experts at this, they will actually tell a group, you're out. Okay, you'll have to exit the parade. So that was a condition. But we will follow up on that. So 9 a.m. warning, that will change some dynamics, I can tell you that.
There's actually a warning in effect right now as we speak for our region.
As I say, you're the one looking at the Google. I'm not, so I will have to look into that. You're giving me news I do not have. Okay? So we may be meeting again.
Jack?
Superintendent Kirkpatrick, could you talk a little bit about what will be allowed in the parades? We've seen from parade organizers, they've said potentially no marching bands or certain kinds.
Yeah, those are the issues of elements. And again, these are all new factors that I need to go back to the table with and have a new conversation. We had already kind of determined that prior to this press conference. It's mainly getting floats through versus, walking elements can slow things down. So it was, can we get through with walking elements in that window? But we have a new window apparently, so we're going to talk about that.
There will be no walking.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch
Can you
that.
clarify on what
He's asking.
Yeah,
We're still walking.
yeah, I can't give you the answer to that right now. I don't know. All right?
All right, last question
Okay.
goes to James Fentz.
Yeah, hey, James.
going back to the New Year's Day attack, since then, how has the preparation for the Super Bowl and now Mardi Gras, has it challenged any aspects of your views on planning or leadership, or has it changed views that you once had, or how has it sort of affected your views on planning for big events like this?
Well, New Orleans has already historically been known for big event planning as well as execution. And so we've had years and years and decades of history of putting it on. What has changed is that because of the terrorist event, we have had to increase hardened barriers primarily for vehicle mitigations, but and we are also still using our consultant that after these events we'll have a discussion about future plans and what levels of enhancement we want to have. So yes, it's had an impact, but at the same time we've also had a lot of history and expertise in our department. Yep. All right. Stand by. We're going to go have another conversation, okay? Thank you, everyone. All right. All right. So, I'm not Mike. Let's go.
Well, you just heard from NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick. A lot of updates regarding Fat Tuesday, Carnival Day. Here's a recap of tomorrow's parade calendar. We said this earlier that Zulu was supposed to roll at 7 a.m. Now tomorrow, Zulu will roll at 6:30 a.m. Rex at 9:30. They both have very shortened routes. I know traditionally sometimes they go on Canal Street. They're not doing that. I believe Zulu will turn off on Poydras ending by the Superdome. Rex will go through a shortened route to turn off on Jackson. That'll head back towards their den. Argus and Jeffersonians and Metairie, they've been canceled, those parades. Now the Covington parades, they roll early at 9:15. Then after parade party has been canceled. And in Homa, the crew of Homas roll early at 11 o'clock. And of course, we're going to work to update the WWL parade tracker to reflect these changes. Before I go, though, I want to go over to Alexandra Cranford because we want to see where we were. Ann Kirkpatrick mentioned that she may possibly cancel the parades if this this watch turns into a warning. Where do we stand right?
Cherise, it is a warning, and you heard that question from the people listening, and yes, it is the high wind warning. This was a watch, now it's a warning, and really that's a function of the time. As you get closer to an event, it starts to, usually the National Weather Service will move it from a watch to a warning. This is for Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And one thing that is a little bit different is that the winds are expected to have frequent gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour, but it is not looking like it will be widespread, commonly seen gusts of 50 to 60 miles per hour. It is possible, but it looks like maybe a few here and there. The more common wind gusts that we'll be seeing, I think, will be about 40, maybe 50 miles per hour. So that's something a little bit different. Just the wording of that warning has changed just a little bit. Sustained winds 20 to 35 miles per hour. So yes, it is a high wind warning, and not much has changed. But again, the gusts of up to about 60, that would be maybe 55 to 60, not quite as likely. And looking at our wind speeds and our gusts, the gusts are in yellow. This is our forecast tomorrow. Notice things getting more active by 7 a.m. This is by noon, and you can see in the yellow those gusts close to about 50 miles per hour. And then this takes us through the afternoon, and by this point, 5 p.m., we will also be watching for that line of strong to severe storms, and that will bring a chance for high damaging wind gusts, just thunderstorm related. These are all winds that don't have to do with thunderstorms. It's just going to be a very windy day. The winds back off as we get later. And our severe risk tomorrow is still there, level 2 for New Orleans, level 3 though for most spots north of the lake and into Mississippi. So that will be with the line of storms that we're talking about. So that's a later in the day thing. Again, looking like maybe after 5 p.m. most active time for New Orleans with the rain, maybe 6 or 7 p.m. We'll have a lot more details on all of this coming up in our 4 o'clock and then 5, 6, 6:30 and 10 newscasts.
A quick question for you. I heard Chief Kirkpatrick mention the fact that they don't want anyone with tents. There's no tents allowed. They don't want people to bring out umbrellas. They don't even want people to have porta potties out there because they say they don't have the time to hold those things down. Are we really at risk for having a lot of things blowing really strong tomorrow, or what?
You know, we are, Cherise, because those gusts, I think if they do get near 50, that's pretty high, especially when you have tons of stuff. People have things out on the parade routes, even if you just set something down really quick, and that can blow. Also, one thing to think about is downtown, especially when you're between the high rises, that enhances the wind effect. So it might include our winds maybe even gusting higher than they would if you're downtown between the buildings, that narrow space kind of speeds up the wind as it gets channeled or funneled through those buildings. So that's something to think about as well. So your kind of location along the route might depend a little bit on, or your wind impacts may depend a bit on where you are as far as the location goes. So yes, 40 plus miles per hour, that's plenty enough to kind of blow things around. And I think the tents and umbrella is a good thing to have that not in the picture for tomorrow.
All right, Alexander, I'm going to check back in with you in a little bit because I know you have a lot to do. Again, a recap, tomorrow's parade calendar, some major changes happening. And this may not be the end of the changes that we're going to hear. Zulu now rolling at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. Rex at 9:30. They both have shortened routes. The Trucks Parade, it's been postponed. We heard Chief Kirkpatrick mention the Trucks Parade, but I believe that it's happening on another Sunday. We'll have another update coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. Stay with WWL Louisiana. We have got a special programming coming up at